Some saw vanity. Others saw strategy. But anyone paying attention knew what Shedeur Sanders was doing when he made the Hennessy Award his Instagram avatar. It was a signal to culture and commerce alike. In a league where performance once reigned, Sanders introduced a new kind of currency, symbolic capital, by linking himself publicly with Hennessy, long associated with luxury, celebration, and black cultural prestige. He sent a coded message to the world's biggest brands. He knows what he represents. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. And he knows exactly what he's worth. His rise isn't just about football, it's about leverage. When Deion Sanders publicly acknowledged that his son had reached a milestone he didn't achieve until year 3, it reframed Shedeur's ascent as both legacy and prophecy. NFL executives and corporate strategists alike now see that performance is only one dimension. Visibility, identity, and narrative command a premium, and Shedeur already speaks that language fluently. For companies ready to spend, he's not just another athlete. He's a media brand with cultural gravity. Let's talk about what just happened, and what's still happening. A Pro Bowl practice video goes viral. Shedeur Sanders is already trending. Again. But it's not because he said something outrageous or pulled some flashy off-script move on the field. No, it's because every step this guy takes is being watched like a stock about to explode. And if you think that kind of attention is accidental, you haven't been paying attention. This is a rookie quarterback, drafted in the 5th round. That's deep in the NFL draft, where the expectations are usually, maybe he'll make the roster. But Shedeur didn't just make the roster. He stepped into a starting role late in the season, after Dillon Gabriel went down, and turned what should have been a developmental year into a headlining act. And then he gets voted into the Pro Bowl. That alone would have broken the internet for a day. A rookie QB getting Pro Bowl honors is rare. A 5th-round rookie? That's unheard of. And yet, that's only the surface. Because the second Shedeur got that nod, he didn't just celebrate. He pivoted, fast, with precision. He opened the next chapter in his career not with a press conference, but with an Instagram profile picture change. Just one move, no text, no fanfare, just him holding the Hennessy Award live on ESPN. It wasn't a highlight reel. It wasn't a team logo. It was that image. That single moment, carefully selected, immediately told every brand executive in America, I'm not here to be another athlete. I'm a luxury asset. And that message landed. Because let's not kid ourselves. Hennessy doesn't just represent celebration. It represents status, culture, legacy, especially in the black community. It carries a very specific weight. Shedeur knew that. So instead of letting his Pro Bowl buzz die off, he used that image to anchor his identity. Prestige, sophistication, legacy, but with edge. This wasn't a vanity play. It was positioning. And the fact that it worked so effectively proves how far ahead he is when it comes to personal branding. Shedeur isn't trying to be visible. He's making himself valuable. And the NFL? They noticed. When the league revamped its official Pro Bowl website, they had every superstar at their disposal, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson. But who was front and center? Shedeur, not buried in the list, not shuffled to a side banner, featured a rookie quarterback. Drafted in the 5th round, now being presented as the face of the league's biggest exhibition event. That's not an oversight. That's strategy. Because what Shedeur brings to the table goes beyond stats. He brings engagement. And in today's NFL, that's currency. This isn't the era where teams and leagues only value what you do on the field. It's about what you bring with you. How many people watch when you post? How many repost? How many argue, cheer, stand, or hate watch your every move? In short, how much gravity do you have? And Shedeur, he's already got more pull than most veterans. Now, if you're thinking, isn't this all a little fast? Doesn't he still have to prove himself long-term? Fair questions. But that's exactly why his current moves are so critical. He knows the average NFL career lasts only about 3 years. So what's he doing? Investing now. Not just in his game, but in his persona, in building something that lives beyond the field. That Instagram photo wasn't just about capturing a moment. It was a subtle contract proposal to every high-tier brand watching. Align with me, and you're not just getting a player, you're getting cultural relevance built in. And the brands? They're biting. Nike, Adidas, Gatorade, Hennessy, obviously, all reportedly circling. Not because Shedeur is throwing 60-yard bombs on Sundays, but because he's shown a mastery of symbolic capital. That kind of fluency, being able to speak the language of media, culture, and commerce, is exactly what puts athletes in the upper tier of marketability. His brother, Deion Jr., has played a huge part in this too. While Shedeur maintains a limited, calculated presence online, Deion Jr. is running the content game behind the scenes. During Pro Bowl week, he didn't just share clips. He turned Shedeur's entire Pro Bowl trip into serialized media, documented, styled, distributed. That's not a content creator. That's a distribution strategy. And again, none of this feels forced. That's the genius. It feels real. It's a family operation, but one running like a studio. And every piece of content adds to the legend, whether it's a mic'd up moment or a silent stare down the lens. It all feeds into the Shedeur Sanders identity. Disciplined, elite, intentional. Meanwhile, critics popped up right on cue, accusing the NFL of playing favorites, accusing Shedeur of writing his last name. But the counterpoint was swift and airtight. Shedeur was recruited out of high school by everyone. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Oregon, Michigan, Florida State. This was not some fringe hopeful who stumbled into relevance. He had choices. He chose Jackson State, then Colorado. He didn't take a shortcut. He took a statement route. And when his shot came in Cleveland, he proved he could deliver. His Pro Bowl selection wasn't a fluke. It was earned. And now, the narrative is finally catching up to reality. More than anything, what Shedeur is proving is that the system is evolving. The NFL's valuation model is shifting. Performance alone isn't the only benchmark. Teams and sponsors are looking for athletes with off-field intelligence, media savvy, cultural awareness, personality that drives ROI. Shedeur is not just ahead of that curve. He is the curve. He's showing that you don't have to be a top draft pick to be a top brand. That charisma, strategy, and timing can outweigh pedigree. That a well-placed Instagram photo can spark more conversation and more sponsorship calls than a game-winning drive. And that's the most disruptive part of all. Because if you're a brand and you're watching this unfold, you're not asking, do we want Shedeur Sanders? You're asking, how much is it going to cost us if we don't get him now? That's the game he's playing. And so far, he's winning. If you've been tracking the rise, the reaction, and the ripple effect across media, sports, and marketing, drop your thoughts below. Like this video. Hit that subscribe button. Because Shedeur Sanders didn't just make history by getting into the Pro Bowl. He made it by turning that moment into a global signal. And now, every major brand is trying to answer the call. Let's keep it going. Because Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up to Pro Bowl. He made it his. And now that the dust has settled from that viral practice video, the real story is clearer than ever. Shedeur isn't just participating in the league. He's shaping its future. This isn't a trend. It's a turning point. You've got a fifth-round rookie quarterback. Let's say that again, fifth round, who enters the league without the usual red carpet, without the overwhelming hype machine behind a first-round pick. He wasn't handed the keys to a franchise on day one. He had to wait, had to watch. And then when Cleveland starter Dillon Gabriel went down, Shedeur didn't just fill in. He took over. The moment was there, and he seized it. And that's why the Pro Bowl wasn't some cute side note. It was validation, recognition from the league, from his peers, and from the entire football ecosystem that this guy had arrived. Not eventually, not in 2 years. Now. But what makes it even more remarkable is what came next. Because Shedeur didn't just ride the high. He pivoted straight into the next phase of his career without skipping a beat. The Instagram move, swapping out whatever profile pic he had for that iconic shot of him holding the Hennessy Award, wasn't a humble brag. It was a declaration. That image is now branded into the internet's collective memory. Shedeur, suited up, holding an award named after a luxury spirit on live ESPN. It's the kind of image that stops the scroll. It's clean, symbolic, and just mysterious enough to spark conversation. And conversation is where Shedeur thrives. He's not oversharing. He's not explaining every move. That's what gives him leverage. His digital presence is deliberately quiet, but each action lands like a power move. While most rookies are hustling to get their name out, Shedeur has built enough mystique that people are doing the talking for him. That's rare. It's also calculated, because Shedeur is not trying to win just games. He's trying to win the game. The long one. The one where a player's brand becomes as valuable as their stats. Where deals, influence, and longevity don't come from your jersey number. They come from how you move in the public eye. And right now, Shedeur is moving like a seasoned mogul. Let's break it down even more. That Hennessy Award pick isn't just a flex. It's a masterclass in semiotic branding. It's Shedeur aligning himself with symbols of excellence, luxury, and upward mobility. It says, I'm not here for a quick check. I'm building a legacy that lives in culture, not just in playbooks. And that message didn't get lost on brands. The whisper campaigns are over. The bidding war is real. Nike wants him. Adidas wants him. Gatorade wants in. Hennessy is already halfway through the door because they're all seeing what the NFL saw when they made him the lead on their Pro Bowl page. Shedeur drives interest. He generates value, not just as a player, but as a brand operator. And let's not forget who helped set the tone. Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime, a.k.a. The Blueprint, waited until just the right moment to say something. And when he did, it hit. He acknowledged Shedeur's Pro Bowl achievement publicly, pointing out that it took him a Hall of Famer 3 seasons to do what Shedeur did in 1. That wasn't just a proud dad moment. That was generational framing, a passing of the torch, a statement that Shedeur isn't walking in Deion's shadow. He's walking alongside his legacy. And just like that, the story isn't just about a quarterback anymore. It's about 2 icons, father and son, prime and prodigy. The NFL doesn't get this kind of narrative symmetry often. That's why it's pushing him to the front. It's not just good football, it's good television. And behind the scenes, Deion Jr. is capturing it all. The behind-the-scenes moments, the hotel footage, the casual clips. The Pro Bowl experience isn't just being lived. It's being produced, distributed, engineered for replay value. The Sanders family isn't documenting from memory. They're documenting from momentum. And it works, because all of it feeds into the larger ecosystem Shedeur is building. Not a one-time campaign, not a one-season splash, but a media blueprint that makes Shedeur not just a quarterback, but a content platform, a lifestyle node, a modern marketing ecosystem. That's why the average 3-year NFL career stat doesn't scare him, because Shedeur isn't relying on football alone to carry him through. He's already got verticals. He's got lanes. He's got brand-building instincts most players don't even touch until retirement. He's already owning his image rights, curating his digital narrative, and setting himself up for licensing opportunities down the line. And here's the part that's really flipping the industry on its head. He's not asking for permission. Shedeur isn't waiting to be picked for a campaign. He's showing brands that he's a campaign, that partnering with him doesn't just add visibility. It changes the temperature of the room, that he is the cultural metric they should be chasing. And it's working, because in this post-stat era, where virality and influence matter just as much as yards and touchdowns, Shedeur checks every box. He's not just a quarterback. He's a vibe, a headline, a symbol of what the next era of sports marketing looks like. All from a kid who was supposed to sit on the bench this year. But he didn't. He stepped in, stepped up, and then leveraged a moment to full advantage. It wasn't luck. It wasn't noise. It was strategic execution, on and off the field. Now, the real question isn't whether Shedeur can keep this up. The real question is, who can catch him? Because the brands are already late. The NFL already knows what they've got. The followers are locked in. And the rest of the league is watching a rookie who's moving like a brand veteran, who's not just waiting for a legacy. He's building one in real time. The NFL isn't just evolving. It's being reprogrammed in real time. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is the code. You're seeing it. The Pro Bowl should have been just another box to check, a postseason formality where stars show face, run a few routes, and clock out early. But the second Shedeur stepped onto that practice field, everything shifted. One video, one play, one clip, viral in minutes. And not just for what he did, but who he is. This isn't normal. Rookie quarterbacks don't move markets like this. Fifth-round picks don't become front-page features. Pro Bowl invites don't usually trigger a branding crisis for legacy sports companies. But that's the effect Shedeur is having, and it's no accident. Let's go back to the Instagram moment, because yes, we're still talking about it. When he updated his profile photo to that now iconic shot of him holding the Hennessy Award, he didn't just rebrand his page. He reframed the narrative. That image is loaded. It carries history, celebration, status, identity. It told everyone watching, this isn't a football player trying to break into culture. This is someone from culture, actively shaping how sports, luxury, and media intersect. And if you think that was just a flex of the fans, you're missing the point. That move wasn't for fans. It was a signal to boardrooms, to brand strategists, to CMOs and talent agents. It was a subtle, confident message. I know what I represent. I know what you want. And I know what it's worth. Shedeur isn't building hype. He's building equity. And that's why this moment is bigger than football, bigger than the Pro Bowl, bigger than the draft, the stats, or the highlight reels. This is a case study in modern athlete value and how it's measured now. Because let's be honest, it's not just about what you do on the field. It's about how many tabs your name opens, how many platforms your image lives on, how much culture you can pull toward you. The NFL got the memo. That's why they featured him first on the Pro Bowl site, not buried beneath MVPs. Above them, that wasn't an error. That was a pivot, a clear recognition that this isn't just about talent. It's about trajectory. And Shedeur's trajectory? It's vertical. He's not just passing tests. He's rewriting them. His entire journey, from elite high school recruitment to choosing Jackson State when everyone expected a Power 5 move, to transfer into Colorado, to stepping up late for Cleveland, has been deliberate, not a detour, a design. And that's exactly what the criticism misses. Because the minute the Pro Bowl roster dropped, people came out of the woodwork to ask, did he really earn this? And that question completely ignores the context that he had offers from the nation's top programs, that he made intentional, values-driven decisions at every turn, that when the moment came, he delivered. More importantly, that question ignores what value is now. Traditionalists want to reduce value to stat lines and throw percentages. But today's athletes are measured in media reach, cultural resonance, and brand alignment. And Shedeur checks every box. Not because he's trying to, because he's living it. He understands intuitively that the NFL is no longer just about football, it's about narrative. And he's narrating his career in real time with discipline, vision, and almost surgical precision. You won't find him spamming Instagram with selfies. You won't find him posting cryptic stories every 24 hours. When he updates, it means something, it shifts something. That's the kind of content presence that moves differently. That moves like a brand. Which brings us back to Deion Jr., because while Shedeur plays the long game with digital restraint, Deion Jr. is building the engine behind the curtain. That Pro Bowl trip turned into multi-platform storytelling. Clips that look like content but function like marketing. Casual but calculated. Personal but professionally cut. It's not just documentation. It's distribution. And that's what gives Shedeur scale. He's not just a player with a platform. He's a network, a content hub with a live feed into his own narrative. Every post amplifies. Every shot builds. Every moment is stacked with value, whether it's a practice throw or a behind-the-scenes locker room laugh. And because it's real, it hits harder. It's no wonder brands are circling. Nike sees the crossover potential. Adidas wants a lifestyle energy. Gatorade sees the Gen Z alignment. Hennessy is already halfway in the door. These aren't just hypothetical partnerships. They're inevitable because Shedeur's not pitching himself. He's being demanded. The question isn't who will sign him, it's who will miss out. That's how powerful his positioning has become. He's doing what most athletes, frankly, most celebrities, never managed to pull off. Becoming aspirational without overselling. Remaining accessible while still feeling premium, appealing to fans, but built for brands. And all of this, again, started with a moment, a window of opportunity late in the season, an injury to the starter, a handful of games that turned into a narrative arc. He didn't need a full season to make noise, just a spotlight and a strategy. It's a reminder that in the modern NFL, time on the field is only one piece of the puzzle. The other piece? What you do with that time when the cameras are on. Shedeur didn't waste a second. So now the stakes are higher. The next moves matter even more. Because this isn't just a viral moment. This is long-term brand architecture happening in real time. Shedeur isn't reacting, he's building. And that's where he's most dangerous. Because while other players are trying to find their voice, Shedeur has already locked in his tone, his pace, his aesthetic. He's clear. And clarity, especially in an industry that thrives on chaos, is currency. He's not a kid trying to make it. He's a market force. And that force isn't slowing down anytime soon. The Pro Bowl may be over. The season may be winding down. But the Shedeur Sanders momentum? It's expanding into ad campaigns, into merch, into future partnerships, into long-term legacy. He's not waiting to be remembered. He's ensuring it. So if you've been watching from the sidelines, take note. This is what the new era of athlete branding looks like. It's not always loud. It's not always constant. But it's always intentional. And when it's done right, it changes the whole game. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that if you've been tracking the play-by-play from the Pro Bowl to the branding battlefield. And subscribe, because this won't be the last time we're covering Shedeur Sanders. He's not just making noise. He's making history, and every brand in the game knows it.